over time, but we are talking about people who are going to serve for a specific short period, and with condition, their own condition of service, which I was mentioned the other time, was that one of the conditions you have to go through is you must resign based on the electoral law. You must resign your employment, whatever you have been doing. That means they have made political office a full-time job. If it's on a part-time, like someone says they should get in
political service is about service to the people.
We are talking about what we have. If we are saying for you to contest, even a councillor in Nigeria, you must resign your employment. You go against the electoral law. If about
you see the argument you are saying,
you have not resigned your employment. That means you are telling the person you are going to do a full-time job.
You see what?
And now you have to know something. Now you're talking about even minimum wage. You talk about
how
the
much
quality
do you
of
earn
people
before
working.
you get to national?
I'm happy you mentioned that.
Now, how much do you earn?
Now I'm a businessman,
okay.
And now I know what I earn in my business. And now if you're talking about someone, I think I have about over 20 years postgraduate experience already. And if I've stayed in the service, I've been a civil servant before. If I stayed in the service, I know what level I would have been now, at least a level of a permanent secretary, the least. And if you are now saying that people, because you are not a politician.
No, it's level 17. Or
yes,
16 or 17.
That's 17.
So, okay, what will you earn at 17?
That person earns about 400,000 naira.
Yes, about 400,000 plus.
And the least paid in the civil service earns about 18,000 naira.
The least paid. And that's within the same service.
And the permanent secretary is the highest level.
What does a level
that's apart from
can
the
you
profession.
answer this question?
If you are a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health, if you are a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health, you are talking something to the level of a million.
A level 17.
A consultant
is asking a question.
A level 17 and 400,000. Just hold on. A level 17 and 400,000.
Yeah.
What does a level 16 earn?
I think about 200,000 something.
Those are the kind of skilled thing we are talking about, the wages. A level 17 is already at the management level. To that extent, you can see a management versus the workers. How many people are
management? See, go and study any management structure.
No.
Look, you cannot. You can, because in management, at management level, a decision made by management affects everything you do in the organization. Go into any organization, go into the banking sector. Don't say because the workers are there or is the cashier that
for the money you are earning. That's the issue.
Even in your labor, even in anything you do, you have your personal businesses. I'm sure in your personal businesses, you because you are the boss. You don't say because my staff did well this month, we made 500 million naira, so they have to get 60% or 40%.
No, in your business, do you pay your workers minimum wage? You see the point I'm making about minimum wage.
Well, that minimum wage is not what I won't pay to any worker. It's too low for me to pay to any worker.
Okay.
Because in my own, if it's in my own business, because it depends on what level of job you get. As a cleaner in level 1, 18,000 naira is for level 1 worker. And even in Lagos State, I don't think we have any level 1. At least the minimum you can get is even from level 2. Because that's if you don't have any certificate, you are a cleaner and you don't have any certificate at all. And very few people will even fall under that category. But many people, even the so-called, many people don't even pay that much to their staff or their workers outside government service. Many people have house helps. They still pay 10, even for sales girls, 15,000 naira. In this state, in Lagos State, people outside there.
Okay.
And I ask them, what do you want this person to do with 15,000 naira?
Minimum wage payment. You see, what we are saying, minimum wage is not about public workers. Minimum wage, statutory, you get, is what every government has a responsibility. And go and study the wage system across the world.
So I don't say we should not adjust. There should be adjustment. But when you are saying civil servant and public office holder will not be paid the minimum wage, do you mean that public office holder will not be paid 18,000 naira?
Let me give you an example.
We have to ridicule the situation.
Maybe answer that question. Are you not saying that the politician should earn 18,000
naira?
What we are saying that there is what you see in minimum wage.
Yes.
You have a baseline. The baseline becomes the reference point on the basis of which you determine wages to the highest level. So there is no way, you see, because first, you pay on the basis of what you have. What is affecting Nigeria now?
We have that in the political system too. The councillor get the list in the minimum wage.
You are in the National Assembly our state assembly for who? For the people.
Sure.
You get it? As we speak here now, today, all the private and most of the private employers in this country, you see, underpay the workers across. This is one responsibility for those who are saying whether they are in the process of making law to even be aware of in the first instance. So when you are talking, are you aware that most of the companies, factories that are here are underpaying the workers?
That's what I just said. The people are being paid 10,000, 15,000 naira.
But you are not concerned.
Factory workers.
Wait, in the last 16 years, when has anybody in the National Assembly, you see, raised concern about the wage issue in this country? Let me give you an example.
So are you implying that if,
so
they are paid minimum wage, they'll be more concerned?
If their wage is relative to the baseline of the minimum wage, they'll be more concerned. I'll give you an example.
No, the state,
because
are you now saying that political office holders should be paid 18,000 naira minimum wage?
No, just hold on. What is a minimum wage? You get it? That's what they call a reference point. If 18,000,
I don't want to digress from the topic we have.
If the 18,000 naira,
nobody is saying what people get outside there is good enough.
If
what we are saying,
if the minimum wage today in the country,
let me
finish. You want to understand?
1 second.
Let me tell you now. If the lowest paid is 18,000, what is the highest paid in terms of services today? Let's take the professors. Because if you are in National Assembly, you are doing research, you are doing intellectual work, or whatever work, you cannot be higher than what a professor does. If a professor should earn 500,000 in our university, there's nobody as a senator that should earn anything more than that. And I will give you why.
500,000 is everything policy plus allowances.
And I will tell you why it is. Why it should be so.
Okay.
Why it should be so?
You would say why
is a professor.
You would say
that people who are better qualified, even than that professor in politics.
But what makes them better qualified? What are they doing in National Assembly?
Are professors not in the? Is the
I'm asking you.
Is the vice president not a professor of law?
Yeah. Ask the
vice president of law.
All right, we need to go on a
what
quick
do we
the politicians are a product of this same society?
Let's go on a quick break here. We'll come back to continue this conversation. Please do not go away. Welcome back. Let's see if I can take one or two comments here. There are quite a number of them that have come in. This is coming from F1 Nigeria. It says, cost of governance in Nigeria is so expensive and cheap to the politicians as they'll do anything to be there. Omoba Adewale says, if the National Assembly is a business outfit, no employer will pay the kind of unsustainable wealth that is being filtered away. Doran says the political class should be paid the same minimum wage like civil servants. There's nothing special that they do for us. As from Doran, and there are many others. Yes, you were saying why you think the National Assembly,
what is so special?
Now we are talking about qualification. You said
okay,
a professor.
Can you answer
that?
Trying
to say because a professor has so amount, and I'm telling you that even professors are in politics. Because I'm now in politics, then I get lower rate.
No. What he's saying is, what's so special about the politician
that what I now say, when you're talking about governance now, we're not talking about governance. A bad government, you know what a bad government could do to you, to the country. Then you know the impact. No, that is what you're talking about. Because you are paying some people, no matter how terrible you think that person is representing you, and that person can make a mere